Good afternoon. Back to the Super Metroid Randomizer tournament, part of Speedgaming Live Online 2023. We have a losers top 8 match here between Audra and mm2nescartridge. I'm DJ Webb. I'll be bringing you this commentary for this series along with Necro. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for the introduction.
Yeah, this should be an exciting race. These two both very experienced runners. I don't know if there's too much 1v1 history between the two of them, but they both play a lot of randomizer, a lot of games. I know they're also both in the SMZ3 tournament as part of this event. So lots of experience here. Like I said, these two will be duking out on a best of 3 series. And we will, we'll bring you all 3 potential matches tonight if the third game is forced. And we will see how things go.
I suppose not a whole lot to say here. Right, DJ, it's the beginning of a rando. They're going to go down. We're going to find morph balls somewhere, and eventually we'll find some other way to break some blocks.
Yep, more than likely we will be finding that as well. That's right. This is it's a major minor split with area randomization and boss randomization, so lots of different things can happen in lots of different ways. Yeah, here at the start, like normal, you see this pretty much in every seed, every mode, unless you get random start, which we haven't played in a little bit. But yeah, come down here, you get your morph ball. There's a major in the ceiling, and there's 2 easily accessible minors, and then you kind of go from there.
And so we've got power bombs, so we could see a check of the what has been called for a long time the meme route. Is a standard route almost these days, with the exception of a couple of races. We'll probably see that from both runners.
Yep, we got some power bombs there at the alpha missiles plus some missile pack over here, so we'd like some more, some supers, but with the power bombs, like you said, able to go to the left and check a portal. Most often, well, I mean, this is the most convenient time to check it, but if you can't, sometimes you just can't. You never know how the seeds will work, and obviously, portals are two-way, so unless it's a dead end, it's always possible to find things from the other side. And there are some super missiles.
We got all 3 of the miners then. It's good.
And we find the green Brinstar elevator early. That's a nice one to find.
And it's easy to go, hopefully. Well, they can go from one end to the other unless they dead end down there. Either way, it might be nice.
Yep, the green Brinstar is one of the early ones that you like to find. Lots of minors, lots of majors. Everything's pretty densely packed here.
We have an exciting X-ray scope here at what is this, early supers, and more PBs in the back. So I mean, 10 PBs is nice to have. Makes it a little bit more comfy kind of going through here. You worry a little bit less about running out.
That is for certain. Yeah, the more power bombs you have early, usually the better. Major minors not nearly as intensive on power bombs as something like a full would be, where more checks are power bomb locked and you're generally doing more of them. But yeah, 15 already. That's a nice start.
If like vanilla bombs never show up, like what's it like? And if we're doing crystal flashes and stuff, what do you want? 25, 30, 35?
It kind of depends on the flow of the seed and where exactly you're going and what you're doing with them. 15 definitely a great start. If you need any more, typically that's in later game scenarios where maybe you're trying to run through Lore and Warfare without a various suit. But at least for now, yeah, 15 is a good start. But you see a lot of people, they'll keep picking them up until they feel as though they don't need to.
We got a couple of tanks. We've got what's like a pretty comfy ammo and health for some basic elements if we run into it.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Green Star definitely one of those places. You find it early, you kind of stock up on all of those, things. You're probably gonna find at least a couple of E-tanks. You'll get your miners. Whatever the distribution may be right now, it's pretty balanced. You probably want a few more supers than they found so far, but nothing to complain about. So yeah, you'll see that. You know, runners once you get through here, that kind of sets the tone for the rest of the seed. You'll see whether or not the miners are in your favor as far as do this with ammo and stuff, and where you can go from there, because the portals can take you kind of all over the place. First little bit of divergence there. There was a missile there. You saw it, the big pink missile. MM2 decided to get that. Audra electing not to. Missile's obviously the one of the three ammo that are most dispensable, I would say, just because there's usually that's the miner with the largest distribution, so you'll be able to find more of them, and then obviously they're a third as powerful as supers, so you'd rather have those.
Yeah, the only place you don't want to be short is what, Fantoon and maybe Croc. I mean, but supers work just as well for Croc, right? If you have to run.
Yeah, it kind of depends on like farming situations, just how many you have. Yeah, Fantoon's the big one where missiles are the better option until the end. But yeah, we'll see. So far, just X-ray, a lot of energy. There's a beam.
Energy. Yeah, a beam. That's at least depends on kind of what they're doing. That can be Spazer is sometimes nice to see. I have no strong feelings one way or the other about Spazer. I know that
if you don't have other beams, then it doubles your damage and makes it wider. That's always nice. But obviously, it's outclassed and overridden by plasma beams. So
yeah. So that was single chamber, I think, right there, right?
Correct.
And so, depending on what's at the bottom, do you think we might see him go back and follow that?
Yeah, that's not a terrible one to go through. It's not too far from Bone Mountain. You'd like, at least one more probably, but runners will do, hell runs that are a little low on energy sometimes, especially considering, with the major minor split, you're pretty much like 50-50 chance to get a tank.
Yeah.
You hope it's not a reserve tank. And yeah, with this
with that
Akarex ship, that's definitely the closest option that we have to where we are, Otherwise, you're running
back up meme route and back up the climb.
Yeah, that's far away.
It's far. It's long. It's slow. I've been told this is a speed run.
It's definitely a race, so you are trying to go fast. Whether or not you subscribe to the tortoise or the hare principle, you definitely don't want to be. You don't want to be the slow tortoise if you're both going tortoise speed.
Yeah. And they're both doing some farming as they go forward. It looks like MM2's got a little extra farming to do if he wants to get to full.
Yeah, I guess some enemy damage was taken in less than opportune times, so we're gonna be here. Yeah, we will see what we can do from here.
Was that 3 big drops in a row?
A power bomb? This is some drop luck. That's for certain.
We'll get the speed check over on Audra's side here. A minute.
Did not farm up to full, and if there's not an E-tank there, I think it kind of wouldn't matter anyway. So we're definitely going to be setting up for a Crystal Flash.
Yeah,
it was very late. Yeah. Very late. And it is only a reserve, and you didn't refill that, unfortunately, because of how you got there. So that was a close call, for sure. And we do have a super. That's nice for, we want a Crystal Flash again. We needed a refill on supers, and that's 5 of the 10 that you need. But these are not going to be the quickest checks anyone's ever seen. But we are going to make it back. And both of our runners more than likely going to be in a similar situation. We'll see where MM2 decides to pop this Crystal Flash. It's definitely going to happen. He definitely farmed up higher, but I do not think without Speed Booster you're making this back without some TAS arm pumping, basically.
Yeah, that's without Speed Booster. That's 4 tanks, right? In logic.
That's definitely the logic. Yes. Ooh, he's going for it. If he pause abuses this, he should be able to make it back. Actually, yeah. Someone in chat with more knowledge was correcting me, and correctly so. So that's really nice. MM2's resources aren't also needed to be farmed back up here, so it's a time save. So bombs here at the Norfolk Reserve. So 0 for 2 on energy refills so far. That's a little bit frustrating, honestly. You would like I said 50-50 chance of a tank and technically corrected speed, but the reserve tank comes empty and doesn't refill your current health. That's the downside. So we shall see what happens. Oh, and MM2 actually says wave beam first and also did a save in between these haul runs. As we saw, Audra just took a save there as well. Ooh, dodged that waiver as well. So what do we have at wave? Where's the energy refill we've been hoping for? More than likely, yeah, we're just going to see the Crystal Flash pop here on the left side. And that'll be a refill, and then, that's going to be it for Bubble Mountain Majors. We got energy, reserve, and bombs. So not the greatest reward that, you're probably hoping for. But given the nature of the map of the seed, this is just kind of, something they felt priced into. And we'll see what they decide from here. Lots of portals here.
Probably Croc Door, you think? And then maybe up to Business Center?
Yeah, it depends on how much information you want to get and where those doors take you, because there's Croc Door that could take you somewhere. There's also the Chronic Boost Room, that's another portal, and then 2 portals plus 2 more items on the left. But that would involve either the reverse Cathedral Hell Run or Croc Escape with a Hell Run bomb jump, which is not the most fun thing anyone's ever done. So ways that this has the order they've chosen to do these things in has ended up with MM2 is on much lower health and in a very dangerous spot here. Those enemies destroyed because they have projectiles.
Oh. Well, MM2 saved before.
Yeah, saved before the E-Tank and I think it was before wave. I don't think he saved again after wave.
Yeah, down that E-Tank that was at wave.
Yeah, so we'll see if he wants to get either of those again. Yeah, chat pointing out that there's a miner there. It's a missile, and it was a missile here, and puts you in the lava. So difficult to get that and then survive without gravity, and also trying to Crystal Flash enemies around and such. So yeah, MM2's saying no to both.
Audra found Mauve Tower, or not some Mauve. What is that? Like a mustard tower?
Yeah, in the red tower, and says, "Hey, this is a cool place to be. I'll go here." And yeah, we found our way back to Criteria. This is an interesting chain so far.
Yeah,
we'll be able to go different places and do different things. And there's a grapple beam that makes nice. If you want to go to Bubble Mountain a lot nicer, honestly. With that grapple, if you end up going back to Norfair. So we managed to, find Criteria in a pretty convenient way and clean up Terminator at least. BT is one of those items that it kind of ends up this way if you don't do it early. You're either not doing it or you're doing it when you cross criteria at some point, which, you know, doesn't even necessarily need to happen. So who knows? Who knows what's there? Who knows if we need it, and who knows when it'll be, you know, on our runners'
Yeah.
minds and/or path to clean up.
And with bombs, it's a short fight, but there still is a fight that takes a few extra seconds.
Yeah. Other thing that grapple beam's gonna do is make you know, we're going back into Red Tower. Next place we're going is really close to X-ray. You know, pretty free check there. No need to do, you know, fancy deep boost strats or anything of the sort.
Yeah.
We are gonna get these minor checks. The other thing that happened with you know, the death that M2 had, he had a little bit of an ammo lead, but with the reset and not going back, is actually a super down but a missile up, and also a power bomb down. So that's something that may be, you know, impactful in later points of this race. Some nice miners here, a missile and a super.
Especially if Varia never shows up.
Yeah, Varia or Charge, those are the things that are going to make those a little bit more important than they could be otherwise. Some heads up farming of those zeros, and like I said, we're headed down Red Tower. There's a portal close to X-Ray, and there's X-Ray itself, and we'll see, you know, that door could lead you elsewhere. You know, the item at X-Ray could be something that, you know, changes things up, but who knows? Ooh,
Turian?
Pretty convenient spot. More likely, you know, we got already a Criterion and Warfare connection here in Red Tower, so thus far it's not necessarily an isolated Red Tower, which is normal because of all the portals here, but, you know, there can be seeds where, you know, the ways in and out of here are more limited than you might imagine. So yeah, using that the grapple beam to full effect here, getting across with no issues, and rewarded with a spring ball.
So, thinking about Meridia with grapple and spring ball, but no high jump boots, nothing is really in logic with that, correct?
I do not believe so.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm more unsure about is stuff with like grapple. For example, like, you know, if you popped into like the top, like, you know, the top portal in Meridia, if just grapple would let you go to the right. Here it doesn't really matter because we saw a pre-aqueduct portal already, so
yeah,
it's not something that you need to get to that portal specifically, and, you know, getting to the top of Redfish otherwise doesn't actually do much. So we're just, you know, coming down here to the rest of Red Tower, and no Sloater's refill, that was definitely an option. Obviously, we've done all of the hull running that we're doing in the immediate future, I'm gonna say, as well as, you know, there was a chance that you just get an E-tank here and that, you know, completely nullifies that refill, but instead it's the gravity suit. First big find here in this seed.
I guess that solves my question about what happens in Meridia.
That's the commentary goal, right? Bring up something that could be interesting so the seed can make it completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
I just need to talk about, you know, Lore Warfare very